Hey everyone, it's DarlingDTarot bringing you another pick a card reading. So I am doing this reading basically as a helping thing for you guys. I've seen a lot of you guys in the comments saying, hey, I'm still single. I don't know when my person's gonna get here, that sort of a thing. This is going to be why you're still single. This is going to go over the main blockages that might be facing you, how people might be perceiving you, just different things like that, as well as a final message just covering what your guides want you to know at this time. So yeah, let's jump right into this. You can choose based off of the individual piles. We have 1, 2, and 3. You can choose based off of the energy from the pile or on the numbers. You can also choose based on these really awesome different stones. Each one is very different in their own way and very cool. But yeah, I will give you a few seconds to look these over and make your pick. But yeah, let's take a deep breath in first. Let's hold it. And release. Now you can do this as many times as you need to. You can also pause the video. I also wanted to add that if you are not happy with your first pick, you can always pick a second or third. That even if you're not, in that boat, you can pick more than one number, more than one stack, and you can go through and watch each individual one that you pick. Don't feel like you have to stick with the one that you picked, or that is the end all be all, because it is not. So yeah, keep that in mind, and I will give you a few seconds to choose, and I will see you at your pick. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 1, so let's get right into this and see why it is that you are still single. This is the gold glittery stone. Beautiful pick. So yeah, let's get right into this. So for your animal guides card, we have grouse. It says express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dancing. Also for your wise fool tarot deck card, you have 7 of clubs, and this would be 7 of wands. Now let me read you that description, and then we're going to get into the meaning of these two cards together. So the 7 of clubs, it says, a frustrated man scribbles on his desk as he stresses from the demands of completing a new, revolutionary masterpiece. His success that was received in the 6 of Wands needs to evolve into something greater and something more productive. He is going through a creative block and is truly burnt out. His gifts and talents seek to be challenged, and he hopes that his desire for improvement will bear great discoveries. When we avoid risk out of fear of failing, we fail ourselves by not trying. It may be time to test your belief in yourself and take a risk. Do something that challenges you. Follow your true intentions and discoveries may be revealed. So what I'm getting from this is that sometimes people can see you as someone who doesn't lighten up. You can be someone who, you dwell on little things, or, you're very career oriented, in that regard. If there's something that's really stressing you out, like you're really wanting to draw that apple, see, but it's just not panning out. You just can't seem to get the lines correct, and that's really stressing you out. And that's how you might be in relationships, or just the way that you portray yourself in life. Really start expressing yourself, start being, having fun, start, like it says, express yourself, be proud of yourself, be proud of who you are, be proud of what you can do already. I'd say that when you're interacting with people, don't bring your everyday stresses into the environment. It's very easy for us, especially to when we find someone that we're comfortable with, to open up on them and to let them into our problems and stuff like that. But we also have to know when to lighten up, when to have fun, when to not be so in our heads, and not so focused on, every little detail, every little mistake, every little everything. You know what I mean? Like, so this is definitely a reminder saying, hey, dance more, have fun, listen to more music, really express yourself right now. Don't be shy at this point in time. Because there are more good things about you than there are bad. You might only be focused on the fact that you can't draw this apple completely. Maybe you're focused on the fact that, you don't have a relationship, that you can't seem to manifest a good relationship, that you can't seem to, what have you. But those are all thoughts. You see how close he is to drawing that apple? You see that? If he'd only just change it a little slightly, you know what I mean? And he needs a break. I feel like especially creative types, if you're very creative types really do need breaks. Everyone needs breaks, in fact. But, if you're trying to do something that you're very passionate about, that, you're trying to break off and do a career into, you definitely need those breaks where you have fun and you take time for yourself because, creativity is something that comes and goes. It's always with you, but at times it can be very, very, very hard to conjure up fully. You'll have blocks at times, and it's because the universe is saying, hey, you gotta get out of your head. You're just giving yourself a headache at this point. Have fun. Really channel grouse with this energy of dancing. And, for some of you, it might even be good to start going to dances, start going to, meetups. There's a lot of meetups online that, through meetup.com or what have you, that local dance lessons or stuff like that. Feel comfortable in getting out and doing something that you normally wouldn't have done, just so that you have new experiences and it's something different in your brain. You know what I mean? That way you're not so hung up on anything that's potentially going wrong right now. Sevens also for me feel like, you're at a crossroads in life. You're trying to figure out which way you want to go to hone in your skills or to bring in this thing, and it could be with relationships that you're not quite sure exactly what it is that you want still. It could be that you sit down to think about the person or the relationship that you want and you're like, they're going to be like this and this and this, but it's still not a complete picture because you're not focusing on the more vital things. So let's get into your 2 Witches tarot cards, and these are your main block. So they are the 5 of Cups in reverse and the 10 of Swords. So the 5 of Cups in reverse is kind of sad. The 5 of Cups upright is all about having hope. It's about seeing that you still have those 2 cups there, even though the 3 cups are gone. There's been a lot of obstacle and see how choppy the water is. There's been a lot of chaos almost, but she's finding comfort in the fact that she still has these 2 beautiful upright cups. But reverse, it's very much saying that, you can very much be focused on the things that didn't go right. Let me hold this and show you. See how in the reverse it almost looked like her attention is directed down here towards these broken and empty cups. And that's not where we want to be. It could be that, if someone in a relationship kind of lets you down or disappoints you, that you're the type to, that really will hurt you, if it's something that you deem out of line, if you deem that it's something that you just can't get out of your head, that you just can't get out of your brain, you tend to take these things to heart. I think in the past, people have hurt you. I think in relationships that, you have kind of been the person to bear the brunt of other people's problems and other people's thoughts and words and emotions. It could be that you've been backstabbed and you've just really been defeated in the past. And that's what in relationships makes you focus more on the melancholy. It makes you focus on things that didn't work out. It makes you think of, the negative, and that's why maybe your creative endeavors and your career and such are very, they'd probably take a bit more of a higher standpoint in your life, than relationships, if it is that you're focusing on things. I think that this is all mental, though. I think that, mental and emotional. Definitely start having fun. I know I keep saying go out and dance, but I'm feeling like that. I feel like go out and dance, go out and have fun, turn music on in your house and dance, drum on your counter, just a simple beat, just, whatever. That wasn't a good one. But yeah, just go out there and have fun and really enjoy living. The world is basically your oyster. So for the clarification of these two cards, we have the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups to me is basically all about having a lot of different options, but you're kind of confused about where to go or what to do. There's a lot of emotional offers on the table as well. I think in a way it's hard for him to choose because each offer is something that, genuinely, is really good, or would affect the outcome differently. And I think there's a little bit of confusion as to where you go. I think that in relationships sometimes, or with dating people, maybe you get so caught up on who would be a good partner, and then you just kind of go, no, it's okay. I don't want to go back into that. It could be that when you see a relationship or when you're about to go into a relationship, you kind of almost expect it to turn out this way, that even though you have all these outcomes, maybe you're still thinking to yourself that, well, this whole situation still sucks, regardless of if I'm with a new person or not, but you have to give these opportunities a chance. You have to be open to, accepting love in every form, regardless of if you get hurt, because love does hurt. Love can be one of the most painful things you ever experience in life, as far as emotional feelings go. I mean, loving someone can be very tough, whether it's romantic or platonic or, any kind of way. Love can be very tough. But the message that your guides want you to know right now, which is your angel inspiration card, is harmony. Have harmony right now. Know that everything's going to work out all right and just be at peace. This card is all about, she's just kind of there. She's just, that feeling you get when you take in a lot of air into your lungs and then you hold it and, you finally release it. That's how you should feel. Just feel at ease. Feel at peace in your life. Feel, don't feel these negative energies. When you feel, the idea coming up of this is going to be just like that time that I was with Brendan, you're not going to achieve harmony. It might seem like, that's kind of normal in relationships if that's all that you've, seen, if that's all you've experienced, because everyone's been there. I don't think that there's anyone on this earth that hasn't experienced bad relationships or a bad partnership, and if they haven't, they are truly blessed. But those who pick this pile, definitely try to include some more harmony in your life. Take time to really focus and on the things that you're grateful for, and be thankful for the things that you already have. Be thankful for the people in the past who gave you time and lessons to learn from. Even if it wasn't desirable or wasn't the way that things were, recognize that you are a much stronger person than you were a few years ago, a few months ago, or a few days ago. You are tough, you are strong, you are resilient, and you can brave this storm. You know, really, just breathe. Just breathe and don't worry. You know, everything's taken care of. You know, you're going to have a wonderful relationship, but it's up to you to really bring this harmony into your life. Your spirit guides are saying they want you to cancel this out. You know, this whole section right here, cancel it out with harmony. You know, just place that there like a little band-aid and, you know, we will go forward, you know, but definitely heal yourself, work on that. There are, for some people, binaurals help a lot. I personally love binaurals. I suggest them to everyone that I talk to, if I feel like they need healing in that area. There are binaurals here on YouTube that you can look up for harmony, for self-love, for relaxation, for good thoughts, for vibrant white healing and light and energy and good stuff, and you know what I mean? So definitely give that a try if you're interested. I think that would do you wonders. I think this will definitely lead you to where you want to go, though, because if you see, look at this, there's 2 7s. This is a 7, and then this 4 plus 3 is 7. So that's really interesting. And we have this 7. I almost forgot this 7. So very interesting. Look at all these 7s, you guys. Those who picked stack 1, your life path could be 7 potentially, but I think this might just be saying that, you know, this blockage might be the thing that's holding you back from really choosing that good path in that fork in the road. See, I see 7s as a 5 plus a fork in the road, because 5 is a change. You know, change is inevitable, but you're coming up to this fork in the road and you have 2 options. You have option to go this way, you have an option to go that way. You know, and your guides are really saying you can cancel out this energy now. You can really transform your life and go down that lighter path, that clearer path. Sometimes it might be hard. You know, it might be hard to cancel out past thinking or past energies. You know, that is something that is very hard to overcome, but it's also something that you're going to feel very successful and very proud over when you reach where it is that you want to go. You know, you're going to have a lot of opportunities handed to you in this life, not only in career and all that, but for love, for relationships, for romantic connections, for emotional connections. You're going to have a lot of opportunities for that. Really, so don't get yourself down. Just have that harmony, and yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to add that in. I saw these 7s at the last minute. I was like, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this pile. Definitely work on that. And I wish you the best of luck. Definitely just cancel all that and have some fun. You know, with grouse, have fun too. Do some dancing. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed of yourself. Don't, you know, especially if someone says, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, but especially if someone said something to you in the past that has made you feel less than perfect or less than acceptable, cancel that. Cancel that right now. Go back into that energy of fun. Go back into that energy of lightness and happiness and purity. You know what I mean? Go back to the things that really made you happy when you were a child. You know, dance around silly like you did when you were a child. If it makes you laugh, if it makes you smile even for a few minutes, that's perfectly fine. And it's time well spent. It's not time wasted. It's time well spent towards yourself and your well-being. But yeah, that is my interpretation of this. So yeah, definitely write to me in the comments. I would love to hear. It fell. I would love to hear, you know, you guys' thoughts, opinions, stuff like that. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and to subscribe if you are not already, because I'm going to be putting out more videos every week. And what else? Oh yeah, I also have an Etsy page under the same name, DarlingDTarot. These are general readings, of course. So if you are looking for something a little bit more personal or are wondering when love will find you, I do have a lot of general readings over there. Or not general readings, personal readings. But yeah, and I also have general readings over on my Instagram page, which is also DarlingDTarot. But yeah, make sure to check me out on all my social media. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye! Hey there, everyone who picked stack 2. Let's get right into your reading. So your first two cards, we have an animal guides card and we have the Wise Fool Tarot card. So for your animal guide card, we have Tiger. It says you're being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. And we also have the Five of Hearts in reverse for the Wise Fool Tarot deck. Now this is the best way to have this card. This is the way that we want it to be, because upright, it's very much about how this Potter is very he's very focused on the one that's broken. He's very focused on that he has a beautiful house and he has these beautiful vases, but he looks at this and he's like, so you're definitely the kind of person who, you're a leader, you're someone strong, you're someone resilient, you're someone worth looking up to. But you're also someone who doesn't stress over the little things. I think if a relationship doesn't go your way, I think you're very easy to move forward. I think you're just kind of like, okay, well, that's fine. I have other options. I have other ideas. I have other things to do. It's kind of like the song, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked. I don't know why I'm feeling that vibe, but I feel like you're very much the kind of person who's just kind of like, yeah, I have better things to do then. I'm not going to waste my time here. I have to, I can put my priorities into self-love. I can put my priorities into career. I can put my priorities into my family. I don't have to put my priorities into, a relationship or emotional feelings or anything like that. I think that you're someone who is very independent, someone who, is very reliable, but you're also very dedicated to your own pursuits. But you're definitely someone who, if things fall through, you're not the type to cry over spilled milk. You're very tough in that regard, that, if things don't pan out the way that you wanted, you're just like, okay, well, what's another outcome that I would want here? You're very proactive in that sort of a sense. So let's go on to your Witch's Tarot cards, and this is going to be the main blockage of why you are still single. And as far as blockages go, this is something that just could be keeping you single on a subconscious level. You might not even be realizing it, but let's get into these cards. So you have the Hermit and the Hanged Man. So it really makes me think that, the Hanged Man is someone who really suspends themselves in time. They wait around for things. They kind of, they kind of ignore the rest of the reality and the rest of the world that's going on to seek enlightenment, to seek, to feel ready for whatever it is. The Hangman feels like a waiting card to me in some senses, that it's just, you're tied up. You're tied up against time in a way. For me, the Hangman feels like, sometimes you can keep yourself stuck in situations that you really shouldn't keep yourself stuck in. Also, Tiger, Tiger pile, that's what I should refer to this. But you're also someone who's very okay with being alone. The Hangman is okay being there alone. He doesn't really care that this raven is here, that he's offering him this beautiful pentacle. He doesn't care. He's like, I'm fine. I'm smiling. I'm just gonna keep hanging here, and that's that. You're the type of person who maybe some people are a little intimidated by, in the sense that you are very okay with being alone. You're the type of person who, you're not going to cry because you're alone, because you don't see it as being alone. You see it as, I have more time to do the things that I want to do. I have a bigger bed to sleep in. I have this and that. I have, it's kind of, you're this person of this mentality of abundance, and I can accomplish these things by myself, and I can seek enlightenment by myself. And you're someone who's very intuitive and very smart, and you could very possibly be a Virgo, even because the Hermit is a Virgo. You might be someone who's very detail oriented, someone who's very precise in what they do, but they can come off very strong. I think a lot of Virgos can come off as high maintenance or know-it-alls or whatever. I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo sun. I love Virgos. I love them. And, maybe I'm biased for that reason, but, I think that there is something to be said for that type of energy. There's something to be said for, this idea of, I'm just bringing this up. You don't have to be a Virgo, but there's something to be said for this idea that, you'd rather be alone and get your work accomplished than to really be fretting. And I think that for a lot of Virgos, they're very detail oriented, and they can see, I don't want to say into the future, but they can really pinpoint what it is that they want for themselves in the future, even if they know it's going to be a long haul. You're someone who's very dedicated to what they want. And, maybe that scares people off. Maybe people are like, ugh, they don't really want to go on this long journey or adventure with you of self-healing and all that. I think that already from this reading, you are an incredible person. I think that there's nothing you should change. I think that maybe if you're being harsh to people, if you are presenting yourself that you'd rather be alone than to be in a relationship, then maybe that's the block. Maybe to some extent you have to, for some of you, it could even be embracing being alone. And I know that seems like such a strange thing, but sometimes when we, the law of, let me break this down. The law of attraction is basically saying that when you forget about something or keep something out of your mind instead of constantly obsessing about it, you will get it. You will get that thing. Sometimes it's better to be alone and to understand what that life is truly all about in its truest form. To not be worried about it, to be able to be in a group of people and still stand out on your own. That's a very beautiful thing. That's a very beautiful quality to have. Because some people can be, in groups, and they can be with their significant other, and there's no telling anyone apart because they're not being true. They're not being, that strong voice. They're not showing who they truly are. And you're the type of person who's like, yeah, I'm going to show who I am. And, even if that makes me that weird old man that walks around in the tundra, that's fine. I'll get my goals by myself. So, for a clarification of the Hanged Man and the Hermit, we have the Hermit. So definitely, I think there are a few of you that need to really embrace being alone. I mean, hey, a lot of us have been on that path. I think I am probably on that path right now, but I think that there is something to be learned from that single lifestyle and from that learning something on your own and letting your intuition and your gut guide the way. Also, I'm feeling drawn to say that if you're in a relationship, okay, and you're seeing kind of red flags and you're kind of brushing them off, even though you're this strong personality, you're intense, you're awesome, to be honest, maybe you keep yourself stuck in situations for too long thinking maybe it'll turn around, maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't be so bad. What I'm seeing here is that it's, for some of you, it'll be a lot better to be alone and to really understand why it is that you brush off these red flags, why it is that you let so many things slide. And, as an empath, I can very much say that is something, that is very hard to not do. It's very, very hard to not give people a pass because you care about them, or to be understanding. But we have to be understanding in a smart way. We have to use our intuition to really tell us if something's off, and we have to be okay with being alone if the answer is that this is something that we shouldn't keep ourselves suspended in time for, or waiting around for, or keeping ourselves bound and tied up to this relationship while someone else just runs off and does, who knows what. So yeah, definitely. I think that for some of you, it's going to be a really good thing to be single. Even though it might not feel that way, it might really suck, especially around the holidays. I'm in that same boat. I think it's all about perspective, though. I think that you can look at it as I have more sweets to eat. I have a bigger bed to sleep in. I have this, I have that, I have, that sort of a thing. There's so many better ways that you can look at it. For others, I feel like maybe your independence is very, very, very important to you. I mean, very important. This is, you might feel like when you get into a relationship that you're robbed of that someone's literally hanging you by the foot, and someone's taking you, and someone's taking your money and your pentacles, and they're taking your stuff, and they're going, bye, and you're like, what, really, what? And yeah, but also, I feel like for some too, that, maybe in relationships it's easier to be alone, because then you don't have to face hard problems. You don't have to get as emotionally involved. You can stay at a distance from people. You can kind of be by yourself. In that kind of a circumstance, how can your heart be broken, or how can your heart be broke if you're always alone? Yeah, that was, wow. And I'm sorry. You are a very incredible person. You are a beautiful person. I think that you should appreciate yourself so much. You are very much like this lava stone. So beautiful, but like, geez, so destructive. Like, not in a bad way, but in that, like, chaos, that really strong energy that, you can get anything done. Whatever comes in your way, you're going to go right through it. You know what I mean? Like, resilient. You can get through anything. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so for our last card, we have number 15, and it's Face Your Challenges. In 15, if we look at 1 and 5, it is 6. And 6 for me is all about abundance. It's all about good stuff. So it's really saying that if we face our challenges, like I was saying before, if it's easier for you to be alone, because then you're not having to deal with the emotional gunk, I guess, would be the best term for it. Learn to face those challenges. Learn to be more open and to communicate with people. Really go that extra distance. Don't feel scared to be in a relationship. Don't feel like it's something that's scary. Don't feel like it's something that's going to take away anything from you. A good relationship, a healthy relationship, will take nothing more than what was there already. Let me rephrase that. It will take nothing, and it will just leave you unharmed. You know what I'm saying? A wonderful love will inspire you and uplift you and make you feel good and make you want to face those challenges and make you feel brave, make you feel good, make you want to take those stupid risks because, hey, you're in love. Don't keep yourself locked up, especially if it's in your own mind. Be open to people. Open your heart up like that. Open your heart up, and don't be worried about the challenges that's going to happen. Don't be worried about if there could be a potential deceit, or, there could be some sort of bad thing that happens. I don't think that you're technically or like necessarily that kind of person, but I think that you are definitely someone who feels like they could be a little better off alone. Yeah. But if you choose to face your problems, you will be abundant. You'll have that beautiful love that you want. Now is the time to really just appreciate the fact that you're single, because the universe is putting you in these situations for a reason. It might not feel like it, but that is the truth. Everything in this lifetime is something that can better us or be something that we learn from. Let this time being single, because it might not be for much longer that you are. You know what I mean? And for a lot of people, once they're in a relationship, they kind of get into this moment where they're like, geez, I kind of miss the days where, I could just sit in my room and listen to music and throw darts at the dartboard, and that's no fault to their partner. Their partner is wonderful, but occasionally you need time by yourself, and if this is the case, then if you're in a relationship, face the red flags first of all. Let me tell you that. First of all, face the red flags, but also, really be open. Be open with your partner. Communicate that sort of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm really, really rooting for you, though. I really, really am. This was such a great reading. But yeah, definitely enjoy the time that you're single, because maybe one day you're going to look back on it and say, hey, I missed that. Not saying that you will, but just take into account all that you have now, and, honestly, be proud of yourself. I mean, I don't know. You are awesome. You are good. You are perfection. Okay. Everyone is perfection, but I'm just saying, like, don't be afraid to open yourself up and be vulnerable too, along with that leadership type responsibility. Don't be afraid to let people in. You know what I mean? So I think that's really all I have to say. But definitely face your challenges, if they come up. If you see red flags, nip them in the bud before it really can manifest into something bigger or something worse or whatever. But yeah, stick up for yourself more too, and really be proud of that energy of being loud and in charge. And yeah. But I will see you in the next reading. I hope that you enjoyed this. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and also a comment down below if you enjoyed this. And yeah, I also do personal readings on my Etsy page. It also goes under the name of DarlingDTarot. I have a link in the description below. That is for personal readings, just in case you want to see something a little bit more personal of when am I going to find true love, who is that person going to be, that sort of a thing. And yeah, I also do readings over on my Instagram page, so make sure to check that out too under DarlingDTarot. And yeah, subscribe if you have not already, because I post videos every week. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. Okay, bye, group 2. Hello to everyone who picked stack 3. Let's get right into this and see why it is that you are still single. So for your first 2 cards, we have an Animal Guides card and we have a Wiseful Tarot card. So your Animal Guide card is going to be Polar Bear. It says, stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to outcome. And we also have the 6 of Diamonds, and this would be the 6 of Pentacles in normal tarot. This card was in reverse, so I'm going to read it as such. But these are your first 2 cards, and what I'm getting right off the bat is that you are someone who potentially is quite unique, is quite an individual. You're someone who has no qualms about being yourself, expressing yourself, and being proud of who you are. And if someone crosses that or says something, rude or out of line to you, I think that you're the type of person who can respectfully say something back, or make a remark back that still is very dignified and very, I'd say very polite. I don't think that you're very abrasive. I think that you could be. I think that, with a polar bear, we have this aspect that, kind of a gentle giant in a way. I feel like, unless you're provoked in a truly bad way, I don't think you're going to react, because you'll know that, you could win the argument. You could win this situation if you truly wanted to. It's just a matter of, do you truly want to win the situation? Do you truly want to, go that far? And no, you're the type of person to just respectfully say, hey, this is the way it is. But you're also very, what might intimidate people is the fact that you aren't attached to outcome, in a way that you aren't manipulative. You're very transparent. What you say is what you mean. And that's it. That's the law of the land. That's how it works. And that's really awesome. It's awesome to be transparent with people and to really let them know what you're thinking. So yeah, I think that, it also can intimidate people, the fact that, you'll say to someone, that wasn't cool what you said to me, or that wasn't cool what you said to Miranda 5 weeks ago. I remembered that. I was there. I heard what you said about her. You know what I mean? And they'll be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. For some people, that sudden, that truthfulness, that candidness, that, really speaking your mind regardless of if someone's not going to like you anymore, you think that's kind of petty. I think that you think that that's kind of childish business to, for other people to not like you over something that you've said, or something to that effect. I think that you think that's really ridiculous, and that you don't want to have some form of serious community with people like that. I think that, if you sense that someone is really encroaching on you, or isn't being respectful to you in the same way back, I think that it can really put a damper on what you're feeling. I think that it can really draw you back and pull you back, and almost, I don't want to say into your shell, but it makes you definitely not want to be involved with them. It makes you definitely pull back. It makes you, you'll say what you need to say, but then that's that. You're not going to put in your energy into all of these different aspects only for it to kind of be a joke to someone else, because this is a very serious thing. This is a very serious, seance or what have you, meditation that they're performing. This is a very powerful event, and you're not the type of person to, get into relationships and just be all willy-nilly and whatever. You'll speak your mind, you'll say, hey, I really like you, whatever, but you're not the type to be led on. I think that you'd rather focus on your earthly duties, like your studies or your career, or things that you feel you can have abundance with, things that you feel that are serious and attainable and are goals. Definitely I think that I just had a thought and I think I just lost it. That was really quick. Sometimes when I'm reading tarot, I can't get the messages out fast enough, and I feel like they're coming in, and I'm like, ugh. But yeah, if I think about it, then I'll let you know. But I definitely feel like you are the type of person who it's not all or nothing, but you're definitely put some effort into the relationship, because a lot of work goes into this to maintain this whole thing. A lot of trust, a lot of harmony, a lot of all kinds of different aspects. And, if someone can't provide that to you, you'll be like, yeah, whatever. And, it won't bother you, because that, you can you can fulfill that side of your deal as far as a relationship goes. For your main blockage, for what's holding you back from having a good, healthy relationship, or just a relationship in general, we have, these are the Witch's Tarot, by the way. We have the 8 of Pentacles, and we have the 9 of Swords. So it could be that, relationships do cause you quite a big deal of anxiety. It could be mental anxiety just over yourself, maybe even words that people have said about you in the past, because swords to me very much can represent words, sharp words, harsh words, that probably weren't ours, that were definitely someone else's, that are keeping us up at night and really making us feel anxious and worried. It could be that relationships really make you feel, I don't want to say gross, but, make you feel kind of icky just emotionally. They drain you. They make you feel worried. It's the kind of, are they putting in enough effort? Are they really taking this seriously? I think for you really go all in on relationships if you are in relationships, or if you're thinking about going into a relationship. You're not the type of person to half-ass something or to not give it your all. You're the type of person who's like, you know what, I'm going to love this person to the ends of the earth and give them everything that I can, and you need that reciprocity here. You need someone reciprocating that with you. You need someone who's going to be really serious, but I think that it really worries you. I think that relationships are something that you don't understand, because you can more easily focus your attention onto career. You can more easily focus your attention onto money, or onto your studies even. This is, you could be going back into college or something like that, or really focusing on that as opposed to the anxieties, and it's also saying that if you are experiencing anxieties or whatever, focus on the things that do bring you joy. Focus on the things that you're good at. Focus on the things that, make you feel like it's worth your time, because as opposed to this, do you think that she's spending her time productively just, not getting any sleep at night, not doing anything? Instead of that, it's almost like, look, it's still nighttime over here, but instead she's decided that she's going to take that energy that she could have had laying in bed and feeling dread and feeling uncomfortable and whatever else. She's taking that time to focus on her studies and on her career and on different things. And it could just be finding a healthy balance of finding, a way to, when you're in a relationship or just in life, when you're finding that you're going through a tough time and you're finding that energies are really harsh and you feel, you're up at night and whatever else, think of something that makes you happy. Keep thinking of these things that make you happy until you retrain your mind, because these negative energies, these negative patterns, they are all learned over time. You know what I'm saying? And it's a progression here. If you really take the time to really understand that a lot of these swords aren't even yours, and to focus your energy instead. Slide out of that bed, slide onto the floor, shimmy out, and go into the work studio and, get to dazzling. I'm also saying that if you're in a relationship, focus a lot on the relationship as well. Don't just focus it on, anxieties or career or work. Also focus it on the relationship. But definitely for blockages, definitely work on, it could be that this time that you are single is a time for you to work on your mental health, to work on the perceptions that, you might be carrying around from other people, the projections, the words, the thoughts, the ideas, and it could be that during this time, this is the time for you to build a career, to build a successful career, so that when you meet this person, it's almost like neither of you really have anything that you really have to contribute, because I feel like here it's a lot of work, especially in reverse. I feel like if you have been in relationships before, they've been a lot of work, and you need to be with someone who's going to really be a team with you, be someone who's going to make the dream work through teamwork. There we go. But definitely take this time to focus more on the things that you enjoy and the things that will really bring you abundance. You know what I'm saying? So for your clarification card of why you have the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords, we have the Ace of Cups. So like I was saying earlier, this time of being single is probably just a time to renew yourself, to renew your financial situation, to renew your emotional situation, to become emotionally healthy, to become emotionally stable and emotionally comfortable, to the point where you can sleep at night, to the point where you don't have anxieties and worries, perhaps, instead of dealing with the emotional. I'm going to go a little bit off topic before I bring this bad boy in. But, it could be that instead of really dealing with the crap that went on with a past relationship like an ex, I think that you maybe focus that energy elsewhere, and that really made you internalize it. So sometimes at night, you really can't sleep because you think about this. You think about this person, you think about this situation, maybe you think about, what you could have done differently, what they could have done differently, just different scenarios, but it hurts. It's always the same hurt, you know what I mean? Focus on things that don't hurt you. Focus on things that really uplift you. Focus on things that make you feel emotionally stable. What was I saying before? What was I saying about the emotional stability? There we have it. There we have it, folks. The Ace of Cups is incredible. It's all about, your cup is overflowing. You have more than enough here. It could be that, like I said, this time of being single is just for you to find your abundance, to find your financial prosperity, to find, your emotional beginning, if you will, a healthier emotional beginning. This is a awesome time, basically just to start anew and to start on a healthy new adventure and a healthy new beginning. So for your last card, we have what your guides want you to know right now and during this situation. And we have 28. It says honor life's cycles, and 28 is 10 if you add 2 and 8 together. And 10 is all about being at the end of a cycle. So this is a really awesome card to have, because it's saying that, even if things don't work out or don't work out to the fullest extent, really respect that they were even in your life to begin with. Every situation, every experience is just a lesson that we can learn from. It's something that we can utilize in our lives for many years to come. It's something that we can tell our nieces and nephews and grandchildren about. This is something that we can pass on to other generations and communities, to help them grow as well. We can pass on to friends. We can pass to family. We can help so many people just through our cycles. And that really helps people take these cycles, and really honor them in a way that you heal yourself. Let yourself be healed during this time. Let yourself heal from every cycle that you've been through. But know that every cycle is definitely worth it, and that every change in your life, every outcome, everything is the way that it's supposed to happen. Some people are a little later to finding romance. Some people are very early to finding romance. But it is all divinely timed to when they should be finding romance. Some people will rush into a relationship that, maybe they aren't putting their fullest extent and their fullest potential into this relationship. Some people will be okay with that. Some people will be like, all right, that's enough for me. Hey, they showed up. They showed up today, so, that's good. But, you really have to take pride in the fact as well that you are the type of person who won't settle for less than they deserve. I feel the need to really bring that up, because that's really key to having this emotional stability and this good, healthy outlook on yourself and on your life. Really understand that you are worth so much and, you have so much going for you. You are so abundant. You are so lucky. You are very smart. You are very, just intelligent. You are awesome. You're caring. You're great. Honor everything that you've been through that has gotten you to this point, that has gotten you to be the person that you are today. Really honor the experiences that have shaped you up until this point. But yeah, be gentle with yourself during this time and definitely focus on things that really bring you happiness and prosperity and abundance. Because really your angels want you to know, and your guides want you to know, and your ancestors want you to know that abundance is right around the corner. You just have to be willing to do a little extra work. It always stinks to have to hear that, but it's better to hear someone say it than to not know, I guess. But yeah, definitely, if you are struggling with that, I recommend 100% looking here on YouTube for binaural beats that will help you with emotional stability, that will help you with self-love, that will help you with feeling grateful and thankful and, abundant in every part of your life. Really, really take the time to manifest and listen to these things. I suggest them to everyone that I get the chance to. I think I also suggested it, I think to Stack One. I can't remember. I think Stack One. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and also a comment down below if you enjoyed and just any kind of thoughts that you have. And yeah, if you would like, I have an Etsy where I do personal readings. I have a whole bunch of different personal readings on my Etsy shop that you can choose from, just in case you wanted a more personal reading to find out when you are going to be receiving love, when this person is going to be coming into your life and who they are. But yeah, I'm going to post here on YouTube obviously once a week, so make sure to subscribe if you have not already. Also, on my Instagram, I do daily general readings as well, so make sure to follow me on there. My name on there also is DarlingDTarot. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck, group number 3. Be proud of yourself, the fact that you don't settle for less, and keep utilizing that in life. Don't just settle, yeah, that's okay. I think that's it. But yeah, bye.